What's up, y'all? It's your girl Roxelle Richards, and we are back for another episode of Dare to Excel. Now, many of you guys know I practice law. I'm an injury attorney by day, but at night I actually do business mentorship. I founded excelofficial.com with 2 L's to teach people how to turn their spark into a viable business. And I decided to launch the Dare to Excel podcast because I wanted a place where people can get very vulnerable in sharing their story on how they were able to take something that they do so naturally and turn it into a viable business, and share some inspiration, some motivation. Y'all get your pens, your pencils, whatever it is that you need to do, get comfy, because this next guest, she's also my friend. She's the best organizer in the world. She's just the best closet designer in the world, pantry designer in the world. Yes, I said pantry designer. Yeah, that's a thing. I also said closet designer. That is a thing. So no shade to nobody else. Y'all, she the GOAT. And I'm telling y'all, if you never, ever, ever do anything I tell y'all to do, you better get to know the organizing genius. Like, she's so professional. She's so wonderful. For me, I did not realize having organization was something that I needed until I got it. And when I started getting organization in my life, my environment changed. The way I think changed. Just everything in my life then started to have more structure. So her story is so remarkable. She has a wonderful background. She was in corporate America. She's going to share that with you guys and tell y'all how she did it. We already know everybody's pathways are different, but there is something that you could take from anybody that's on my show to be able to help you in your journey as well. So welcome.
Thank you.
How you doing, Lee?
I'm good. Thank you for having me. Yes,
the
ma'am.
wonderful organizer she is. No, y'all, she's the real deal. Very humble, but she's the real deal. Thank you for coming on here.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
So I want you to share with the people. First of all, how did you organize? And that's not something you just wake up and be like, I want to be an organizer. Like, how did you know that was something? Like something, you know?
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. So I didn't know that it was something.
Okay.
Right? It's just something that's always been in me. It's a very natural gift. It flows like water through a river for me. And I was trying to figure out how to supplement my income after my children's father got very sick and couldn't help to support them anymore. So
and how long ago was that?
2019.
That was not that long ago.
Yeah.
That was not that long ago, Lee.
2019.
Why did I think that you've been doing this for a long, long time?
Probably because I do it a lot more than most organizers. I'm always going. I'm always organizing. I'm always thinking of the next level that I can get to in the business and being innovative with what we do and how we do it. But him being sick made me realize I needed to do something. So just a casual conversation with my cousin one night, we talked about, girl, what can I do to make some extra money and not punch somebody's clock? And she said, you can help people clean out their closet. And I'm like, girl, ain't nobody gonna pay me to help clean out the closet.
Yeah.
And so then I got my best friend on three-way, and she was like, oh yeah, you can do this. You can follow Marie Kondo. You can get the book.
Now, who is Marie Kondo? For people that don't know who Marie Kondo is.
So Marie Kondo, it's actually Marie Kondo.
Oh, sorry, y'all.
But no, she said Kondo.
Oh.
She said Marie Kondo. And so I got to looking up Marie Kondo. She was like, it's a lady, she's from Japan. She organizes, and she says it has to spark joy. So this was a Sunday night. Monday I was at Barnes & Noble. I think we talked Saturday night. Sunday I went to Barnes & Noble and got the book. And I was like, this is it. Followed her on Instagram, started checking for business names. And the next day, Monday, I was at the county clerk's office registering Organized by Libra McGi. That's all I could think of, which later became the Organizing Genius. And I just started planning and preparing, Googling how much should I charge. Like, I knew nothing. I didn't even know it was called an organizer. I just knew that I was going to help people clean out the closet. But my first project ended up being a home office.
So you went from a conversation because you need to supplement some income
Yes.
to literally a few days later going to go get your, was it a DBA?
I got the DBA first and on a Monday, and then it was payday Friday. So I took my paycheck and went to the bank and opened up a business bank account with my DBA.
Did you have customers when you did this?
No, I ain't had no customers.
You just did this on a...
Yeah. I was like,
Bank.
you know, yeah, I was like, I'm going to go open up this account. I'm going to get me some supplies, and then I'm going to figure out how to market myself. I built my website in 2 days. I literally cried real tears because it was hard trying to figure it out, how to do it. But when you're starting out, you don't have the resources to outsource things. I was already going through financial hardship, which is why I started the business. But with my IT background, I'm like, I'm going to figure out how to do this website. Oh, then I need to take credit card payments because people going to want to pay online. So had to get that set up. And connecting that to my website was the hardest part. But I figured that out, and I was like, oh, I ain't got no pictures. I don't have nothing to show nobody.
Yeah.
So I started organizing my bathroom. I didn't have no bins, so I started using iPhone and Apple Watch boxes and shoe boxes to try to organize, make before and afters.
Yeah.
And then a friend of mine called, and this was March 25th. April 8th, she called, and she was like, I need you to come do my office. I was like, I'm not open yet. I don't have no supplies, no uniforms. She was like, what time you get off? I was like, 4. She said, okay, I'll see you at 4:30. And I was like, but I'm not open yet. She was like, I'll see you at 4:30. And so I went, and she started putting me on her Insta stories. She's a business coach, entrepreneur, and all of her clients started calling. And
They start calling you?
Yeah.
From one person?
One person posting.
Wow.
And it just spread like wildfire.
Literally wildfire. Now you doing celebrities. Now you everywhere.
Yes.
This was a side hustle, right?
This was my side hustle.
So you were still working?
Yeah, I would go to work. My boss let me work straight through. So the straight 8 hours. So I would work 7 to 3, and my lunch break was 3 to 4. But from 3 to 4, I would stop in the bathroom, wipe up, my little baby wipes, change, put my, back then I had t-shirt and leggings and some Chucks.
Okay.
And that was my uniform. And by 4:15, I was at somebody's house. And I would ask, can I stay through dinner hour? Can I work until 8:39? And sometimes they would offer me dinner. I would stop and eat in the car. And by the time I would get home, it'd be 10 o'clock, but I had to be right back up at 5 to go to work. So I worked 8 days a week. Holidays.
8 days a week. 7 days.
No, 8. No days off.
But 8 days a week, meaning that's a metaphor because, okay, I'm thinking
I have no days off. I worked round the clock from sun up to sundown every day for a year and a half.
For a year and a half. Wow. And then, so you have an IT background.
Yes.
So what made you say, I'm going to leave IT and really do this for real?
Give
up your guaranteed pay, your comfortable pay to say, I'm going to do this.
For me, I went through a situation at work and my morale was dropped. It was a thing with another employee, and I ended up coming out on top of the situation, but the subsequent things that happened after that, my morale was down. I was the one at work before the sun came up, and I was gone, and the sun was down already. So I went to work in the dark and left in the dark.
Wow.
So after that, I felt like I needed to have an exit strategy. But I didn't think that being an entrepreneur would be full time. It was the demand for the services. It was the every single weekend. I remember being in somebody's house on Father's Day. They had a pool party. And they came in there, they was like, you want a plate? And I was like, no, I'm good. They came back, you sure you don't want a plate? And then they ended up bringing me food to the closet. And so I stopped and I ate. And it was just so demanding. And then I had found an interior designer that I admired quite a bit. And I was thinking to myself, if I could just get a gig with an interior designer, because I didn't know enough.
Right.
I'm like, they're going to go in, take all this stuff out to decorate, but it got to be put back
Put
in.
back in.
It's got to be
Ooh.
functional.
Wow.
So how can I develop that relationship? And from, I would say June, maybe, yeah, I think it was June of 2019, I kept trying to reach out to her. No response, no answer. Kept meeting people that knew her, reached out again, and then I get emotional sometimes, so I unsent the message. I'm like, I ain't gonna be sitting waiting on nobody to respond to me. So I went on Instagram and clicked unsend. Like, I ain't gonna be sitting waiting on nobody to respond to me. And so then a friend of mine, she said, hey, I want you to do, I was gonna do her closet, but she moved.
Okay.
And she said, I'm gonna give your services to my sister. You can do my sister's closet. So when I go meet the sister, I went to a Christmas Eve party. The sister was like, I really don't, like, I want my closet done, but let me show you what I really need done. So when I walked in the house and I saw the decor, I knew that the interior designer I had been trying to reach from June, this is December,
Yeah.
had been in that house.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh man, she was here, like, I'm this close. And I was like, when she took me to the garage, she said, this is what I want you to do.
Uh-huh.
I was like, I gotta kill this garage. Like, I can't go to Home Depot and get no racks from Home Depot.
Yeah.
Which I try to get good, nice racks and stuff, but I'm like, I gotta do something like bigger.
Yeah.
And so we did. We went all out for the garage, epoxy the floors, hung slat wall. Like, I took photos inside of each bin. I made photo labels. Little game I just gave y'all. So, photo labels on each bin so you can see what's in there. And in the powder room, I took a selfie in the powder room. I DM'd it again. I was like, I'm in one of your projects. Like, I just killed this garage and I used your color scheme so it could flow. Like, you need to call me, you need to get with me. Nothing. Still nothing. So I unsent that message.
I'm about to unsend all these damn
After like
messages.
2 weeks, I'm like, dang, what's wrong with this girl? She don't respond to nothing.
It's the perseverance for me.
Yeah, and so then we get to January, and that's when I started getting into the custom bill, which we talk about that in a second. But we get to January, February, March.
Yeah.
Still, I haven't reached back out to her yet. So COVID hit, as you guys know. It's March of 2020. It's 1 year since I started the business, and now I can't do nothing. I'm just sitting at home, working from home, still working for the software company. And then my nail tech, she had told me, she DM'd me, she said, I just referred you a client. And I'm like, putting the hearts on it, thank you so much, you know. And then about 2 days later, I get a follow. While I'm working, it's from the interior designer.
That you've been trying to get
For
you
9 months.
9 months?
9 months. Remember, it had been June of 19. It's now March of 20.
Ooh, Lord.
And I hadn't reached out since December. So it's been 3 months since my last attempt. And I jumped. I didn't know that I saw what I saw, And so I was like, oh, yeah, she probably want me to come and do, like, help her with a project.
Yeah.
Like, ooh, let me see what she, but I waited.
Yeah.
Then I got a DM. Can you come do my pantry? I was like, at your house? And she was like, yeah. And she FaceTimed me, her and her husband, on a 3-way FaceTime call. And I was like, oh, I got to kill this pantry. Like, I got to step my game up. So I started figuring out how to make my own labels, my own vinyl custom labels, which I still do now. Start working on that at 5 a.m. By 7:30, my order with Michael's was already placed for everything that I needed. And then she forgot about the appointment. I drove out there, and I was so disappointed. But then she called, she apologized, and we went back. And we did everything. And getting into the celebrity market, well, I mentioned I do warehouses.
Right.
She said, oh, can you come do my warehouse? I was like, you mean like all the stuff? I was like, yeah, we can do the warehouse. Did that. And then the following month, she said, are you available on August the 26th? I just said, yeah. I didn't know what I had on the calendar, but whatever it was, I was going to reschedule it
Right.
because she wanted me to take a trip with her. So took my first business trip, met my first Instagram celebrity and TV celebrity there. And that is how I tapped into the market. So you never know what God has in store for you.
Ooh, preach.
You never know what path you're going to
Tell
take.
the people right there.
And what vessel is going to be sent your way. And me unsending the messages and unsending them, I still don't regret unsending them because I'm like, I ain't going to be waiting. But it came to me full circle, and we ended up building a really healthy business relationship. It was exactly what I had envisioned. It was exactly what I had manifested to happen. And then from there, just having the level of exposure. Before I did the project in Atlanta, I met three people. I booked one out of the three. And something told me, when you do this closet, this was only my second closet because, COVID hit right after the first one.
COVID.
And I did 2 storage units, like dressers with shelves, but not like and this was my first time converting an entire room into a closet. And I had no idea who I was going to be working for. All I knew was that he was a hairstylist. And I'm like, okay, cool. Let me sketch up some stuff and go out here and do it. Little did I know it was
a whole celebrity.
A whole celebrity. It was so overwhelming. It was so much stuff. I didn't meet him until I finished the closet, like at 1 o'clock in the morning, because he moved like a night owl. And so, but loved it, mentioned my name. And before I left, I resigned from the software company.
Wow.
I had took my route out. I took a leave of absence.
Wow.
Because I got overwhelmed. And then I was sneaking out and working during COVID.
Wow.
And I had my kids wiggling the mouse. And they had my VPN login and everything. I was like, do not let me get logged out so I can stay on Skype, And so I would be gone. And my boss, he inboxed me and he said, Skype says you've been unavailable for 22 hours. And I said, oh, yeah, I was going to take the day off, but my message didn't send. And so I was so stressed out, and I was like, you know what? I'm going to just take a leave. I'm stressed. I don't know what to do. I don't know whether to keep this job with this ceiling on it or take this ceiling off and fly and see where I land. So I took 3 months off. And my strategy was, people kept saying, save 5 years, save 5 years. And I don't recommend this, not for everybody. I'm like, I ain't got no money to save 5 years. If I save 5 years worth of bill money, I ain't never gonna get out.
Yeah. So
I took the paychecks from my job while I was on leave, and I routed them away from my everyday bank account. And I was like, if I can organize every day, if I can work and I can hustle this side hustle.
Wow.
And not need that check.
Wow.
Then I'm gonna be all right. So that's what I did. And when I came back from leave, I stayed gone 82 days. When I came back from leave, I resigned. So fast, I wasn't even back in the system actively employed yet. I was still on leave. It's like, you gotta wait till you're back active. VP of HR called, my directors called, are you okay? We know you've been on leave, and we want to make sure that, you're making the right decision. Is there anything we can do? I was like, no, this is a very calculated decision. This decision has been brewing for 1.5 years now.
Wow.
So it's not hasty. I'm not depressed from COVID or nothing. Like, I'm ready to go. And they said, well, can you think about it a week? I said, okay, you want to give me another week paycheck?
Wow.
So, if you want to give me another week of pay, I'll take another week of pay, but I'm still leaving.
Yeah.
And they said, well, please think about it. And after 7 days, I wrote them a second resignation letter.
Not the second resignation.
I'm like, my decision is final. And they said, well, if you ever want to come back, you're welcome. If your position is not available, we'll create one for you. And we hate to see you go. And they sent me a kit. I sent my laptop. I sent all my stuff back. And I went on to Atlanta. And my mom was against it. Lee, don't quit. You got a good job. And what about your daughter in college and you supposed to, I'm like, man, I'm a smart lady, okay?
That you are a genius.
Thank you. My
A genius.
resume is impressive. So if for some reason this doesn't work, I can go crawling back into the cubicle I just got out of, or I can go somewhere else and the people will be happy to have me. But I never looked back. I tried to sign up for Uber because I was scared, no doubt. But Uber wouldn't accept my insurance card because it was turned the wrong way.
Oh,
My
wow.
insurance card was like a young child driver's license, straight up and
Oh,
down instead of sideways. And it
gotcha.
kept saying invalid document. I emailed, I did everything because I'm like, well, I have a nice car, so if I don't book a session, I can drive people around. It never happened, and I never looked.
That was God probably
Yeah,
like, no, you gonna do this.
I'm gonna do
This
this,
show calling.
and that's pretty much how it took off. And I haven't looked back, and I'm happy that I made that decision.
I'm happy too.
Thank you.
I'm happy too. So this is organizing at this time, but then at this time you just said that that's when you turned a room into a
Right.
closet. So is that when you said I'm gonna go into custom closets?
So the custom work, again, starting the business March of 2019. I was at IKEA. I was calling my friends, hey, can you come put up these bookshelves? I need a spot for all these shoes. I started realizing that the clientele that I was getting had a lot of stuff. And that one closet rod and that one little shelf they give you with this much
Why
space
they
in
do
between
all
each
houses
one.
like
Yeah,
that?
it's like you can't stack nothing up right here. It's like, is this for
Useless.
towels? It's useless. It's a waste of height space. So my second client number 2 was also a friend. She found a carpenter and she was like, oh, I don't want to spend that much money. I'm in a rental. But I always kept his information and I would stalk his page, and I'm like, one day I'm gonna be able to afford to get him to do something for me. Like right now, I'm still going to Walmart and Target, and I was at the Dollar Tree every week buying out all the bins. Because I was a budget organizer.
Right, 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 right.
I could do it on a dime, or I could do it on.
Look, or you could do it all the way
Yeah,
to.
I could go all the way. So
Yes, yes, yes.
it's like I started at the bottom.
Yeah, yeah,
like
yeah.
they say. And so, and with that, I went on a lead generation service where they generate leads and you pay. And I didn't know how it would work, but business slows down at the end of the year. It picks back up towards the beginning of the year. So this was in December. I'm like, I'm going to get on this service and I'm going to see what happens. I did. First out the gate, lady called. She needed her closet organized. She lived all the way in Friendswood because I signed up for everywhere. I don't care where I got to go. I'm going. And I went out there and she had 2 closets and I'm like, well, where your husband's stuff? She said, oh, he in the guest room. And I said, okay, so you got hats and purses and belts over here. You got hats and purses and belts over here. You got clothes and both, scarves and both. She's a minister. And I was like, we need to make one of these closets just stuff to embellish your outfit. Earrings, scarves, shoes, belts, handbags. And this is your wardrobe, only clothes. And I was like, now let's see how we're going to do that. So I started sketching out some shelves, and I called that carpenter that I had been watching. And I was like, can you come out to Friendswood and come give me a quote? And he said, because I would always comment, one day, one day. And so he came.
It's the hope for me and the faith for me and the manifestation for me.
Yeah, and not giving up. And he came, and she was persistent. How much? I'm like, yeah, how much? And he was like, well, I'm going to let you know now.
Ooh,
Just give me a ballpark.
manifestation.
Yeah, give me a ballpark.
Yeah.
Now tell me how much. And he gave me a price. And when I walked outside with him, he said, I didn't want to give you a price because you need to make money. And my price is your price. You take my price
And
you
make yours
you
on
make your
top.
money
That's,
as
hey,
the designer. He
that's
said,
a real
he said,
one.
I'm gonna give you a discount.
That's a real one.
He said, and that's how you're gonna make money. I was like, oh, people, they'll pay me for putting this together? He was like, yeah. He said, I'm a carpenter, not a designer. You're gonna tell
Ooh.
me what to cut. You're gonna draw me a design, and I'm gonna install your design. And I was like, okay. Well, this first one, it's too late now. We done already gave it a price. He said, but I'm gonna still
Yeah.
cut you in a little
Oh,
discount.
that was real.
And so we did it. I didn't even get to finalize the photos because COVID came and I couldn't go back to get the pictures.
Aw.
I went back and it's posted. And she just told me 2 weeks ago that she wants me to come do the pantry
Come on.
again. And so, yeah, and that's how we started. And so that was we finished toward the end of February.
Okay.
And so I didn't have no more closets. Nobody, was booking. And I was like, I don't have a closet, but I got this lady. She want a dresser.
Right.
And she got a lot of perfume. I want to
Yeah.
build something to put all her perfume in. But I want it to look like this, and this.
Right.
Draw it out. Did that. Then another lady, oh, I saw that unit you did. Can you come build me one? I got a lot of shoes and perfume too. All right, I built him one. He kept saying, Lee, I'm like, let's change out these closet rods. He was like, Lee, I build closets. Like, you called me, but you got these small jobs. I'm like, look, you need to stick with me.
Right.
Don't be giving up on me. I'm trying. I'm new to this. I'm drawing stuff out. Measurements don't always be right, but I got a gift. I got a vision. So just stick with me and we gonna hit it big.
Right.
Okay? And he was like, okay. And then that's when we did the closet in Atlanta.
Whew.
With the person who at the time had 1.1 million followers. And he said, when I mention your name, you're not going to be able to control the flow of people that's going to be calling.
And woo, look at how powerful that prophecy was.
It's still to this day, people are still calling because of that closet.
Oh, wow.
And the closet that connects to that and connects to that. And then I started realizing when I would look at the closets, and I ain't going to say no closet company name, but when I would look at them, I'm like, that don't go all the way to the top. And then they all look the same.
Yeah.
So that's when I started doing outrageous things.
Like designs on fleek.
Yeah, my first pantry was orange like your shoes over there. Bright orange. And so that's what I'm known for now, is creating outrageous spaces, one-of-a-kind spaces. I pride myself on not duplicating my work because I feel like my vision, my creativity is like an endless box of tissues. Like,
real artists.
They never stop, so I don't have to duplicate. And that's what my carpenter get on me about. He said, Lee, you always dreaming. I'll wake up and be like, no, let's do all glass right here. Or,
oh my goodness,
let's put a mirror on the ceiling. Or can we do a floor where you walk on it light up?
Yeah.
Like Billie Jean.
Yeah, I love it.
So that's the kind of stuff I like to do. And I enjoy it thoroughly.
So, okay. So now you full out closet designer, pantry designer. So at what point are you like, okay, I got to get a team? Well, did you have a team at that point? You have your carpenter.
I have my carpenter.
So technically, yes, but in terms of more crew.
Yes. So the first office project I told y'all I took when my friend was like, what time you get off? I'll see you at 4:30. I went to that by myself.
Okay.
The second project was a garage. My daughter, who was 17 at the time, she was working with me every weekend.
Okay.
And she still works with me today. So I realized then, and then a decluttering job, big. It was just me and her. And during that project, I said, I need some more help, more hands. So I put it out on Facebook and Instagram, and my neighbor, girl, I can come help you, girl. So my neighbor came. And now we've grown the organizers to me. Of course, it's still me and my daughter. And then I have about 4 other ladies that come out and help us get organized because some jobs are just bigger than others.
Right.
We can work simultaneously. I can put someone, if I have a multi-space project, I can put 2 people in a bathroom and 2 people in a kitchen. So,
okay.
It works to have the bigger team so you can get more done.
Right. Wow. Your story is like, it got like legs on it.
Yes, you
It's
know.
so like, I feel like, I know my journey was long, super long. Not like yours, where you literally like blew up overnight. So what's next?
Um, Next is growing my curriculum to teach the process of
Organize. Because
organizing.
there's not no school. Can you go to school to learn that? Or,
Um, you can take courses. There is a national organization, just like realtors have their National Association of Realtors. There's a National Association for professional organizers too. Professional organizers, people look at us as come and arrange objects, but we are there to also help you be more productive. So that's why we're going to ask you questions like, what's the first thing you do, Roxelle, when you get up in the morning?
you know what, you did ask me questions when you did mine.
What's
My
the first
house.
What's the first thing you do when you get up in the morning? Because that helps me know, okay, well, when she get up in the morning, she gonna brush her teeth, she gonna put her contacts in, she gonna put her lashes on, she gonna get her wig she wanna wear.
Yes,
She gon'
yes.
she gonna do her makeup.
Gonna get the wig
So
on.
you put that in a flow for the day. Things you don't use all the time, like shampoo, you don't need that every day, because you're not shampooing your hair every day. And if we have clients who shampoo every day, then that's going to be at the top. We had one client who had LASIK, but it leaves him with dry eye. So he has eye drops every single day. That had to be in the top drawer. And those are things I ask. What do you need every day? I ask, how tall are you? I may ask you to reach and touch the wall. I take a picture of where you are, and then we'll measure where you can reach.
Okay.
And then everything that you use all the time, this is great in closets and pantries. It's
Okay.
within your reach.
Okay.
Everything you don't need all the time,
Wow.
you take a step stool. The kitchen, are you right or left-handed? Who does the cooking, you or your spouse? Oh, I cook all the time and I'm left-handed. So then we're going to put the cooking utensils on the left side of the stove, if it's possible.
Okay.
The spices there, because we want things to be productive and flow well.
So let me ask you a question. If I am somebody who wants my house organized but I can't necessarily afford you, so with taking one of your courses help me?
Not necessarily. However, the virtual services, I'm relaunching virtual services. Virtual services, I sometimes call it DIY.
Okay.
Because you're doing it yourself with the guidance
Okay.
of an organizer there with you.
Okay.
So basically you would take photos, videos, measurements. If you don't know how to measure, we kind of walk you through how to take measurements. And then we sit on a Zoom call with you, and we're basically your voice, your reason,
Gotcha.
and we're guiding you
Through
through
okay.
us, basically.
Yeah.
I'm saying, hey, go and get all of your high heels and line them up.
Right.
Check all your heel caps to see what needs to be repaired or what's dry riding.
Right.
Count them, tell me how many,
Okay.
So, and then we come up with the storage solution together. We place
Gotcha.
orders, you go buy it, we
Wow.
rebook you for another session, and we set up a tripod,
Wow.
and we walk you through how to put everything.
So you got professional services in terms of organizing service, and then you have closet design, and then you have pantry design, and then virtual service, and you teaching people if they want to do organizing. That's amazing.
Thank you.
Anything else that you plan on?
I do want to write a couple of books, not long, like novels, quick process.
Gotcha.
Best way to organize, 10 steps to getting your pantry organized. Just stuff
that
to
people
help
can
you.
use, especially if they can't even afford the virtual service.
Right. And then
Gotcha.
products.
Yes.
I definitely want to develop. There's
I
so
can
many
see that
things
for you.
I wish I had.
Because you come up with some of the amazing, y'all, like, I'm not just saying this to say this. Your brain is so wonderful. Like, you will come up with stuff that the stuff that you use to actually help in your organizing like for me, for example, is not even the type of product that it is intended to be used for.
Yes.
And you will come up with some, well, we're going to take this and we're going to use this. And then we're going to turn this upside down. Then we're going to take this off and boom. And I'm like, that's
Yes.
nice.
And that is something that I don't feel like I can teach. That is the very candid, very on the fly, quick thinking. People call me MacGyver.
Yeah, I
Because,
believe it. Better,
like,
but you better.
thank you. Like today, I did a little girl's closet and bedroom. She's 11. She has so many little stuffed animals we were going through. And she's like, oh, I'll get rid of that one. Why? I was like, no, you don't have to get rid of any of your stuffed animals. We only want the ones to go away that you don't want to have anymore. But everything you want to keep, we have to find a place for it. And she already asked earlier, it was 3 colored baskets. You think we should keep these baskets? I was like, yeah, we'll find something to do with the baskets.
Yeah.
And so I looked at the baskets, and when we went through all the stuffed animals, I was like, dang, she only got rid of like 4 of them. So
Yeah.
we got a lot. We got to figure out what to do with the rest of these. And I looked at the baskets, and instantly I saw a shelf. So I told her, I said, go get my small case, my small black case. It's full of zip ties and everything. So I literally stacked them on the side, which I do a lot, and I zip tied all 3 of them together.
Wow.
And I put it on the top shelf of her closet,
Aww.
and I made shelves for all the teddy bears. So now when she walks into her closet, that's the first thing she sees.
Aww.
Versus putting them in a toy trunk or in a drawer, because, admittedly, I watch Toy Story, and I think the toys need to be out. They need to be, sitting upright, not
That's
smushed.
what it's about.
Yes, and when she came in, she was like, oh my gosh. She said, that's what you was doing? I was like, yeah. She was like, that's cool.
That's like something that feeling and that memory she about to have for the rest of her life, and she gonna always think of you.
Yeah, and we didn't buy anything. We didn't shop for one thing. We remixed pretty much everything she had. And then she came in, she was like, can I clean my mirror? I was like, yeah, you can clean it. She said, what should I clean it with? I said, a wet paper towel and a dry one.
Aww.
That's it. And she was like, can I start putting my underwear and socks in the drawer? I was like, yeah, but you got to fold them KonMari style.
Aww.
So I taught her how to fold, how to file fold. And I said, you getting excited about your room? She was like, yeah.
Aww.
And we found a purse. Her mom bought her a really nice designer bag for Christmas last year. We found it today.
Aww.
So
what you do is amazing. You changing lives of little girls and grown women like me and everybody else around the world. So if there is one thing that you could tell somebody who is trying to make that decision and they know that they got something, like you knew you got something, but it took a lot of grit. But what would you tell them if they were like in that mode, like, what should I do?
For me, it's like, whether it's organizing, whether it's becoming a drone photographer, like whatever it is that you want to do, you have to have more faith in yourself than fear of yourself.
Woo.
Right?
Yeah.
You can't have the fear of failure. You can't let that overpower the faith that you have that you will excel. I didn't mean to do that, but this is true, and for me, that's what it was for me. Of course you talk to your friends, your family, and you want them to cheer you on. You want them to support you and say, girl, go do it. But there was the ones who didn't. But one thing about me, if I want to do it, I'm going to do it. If I don't want to do it, I ain't going to do it.
Yeah.
And I wanted to do it. So that would be my advice, is if it's something you want to do, if it's something you believe in, the first step is to do it.
Yes.
People would DM me, how'd you get started? I started.
That part. Just start.
Just start.
Can you tell the people where they can find you?
So you can find me I spend most of my time on Instagram.
She got an amazing following.
Yes, so thank you. I spend most of my time on Instagram. My Instagram is Organizing Genius. There's one G in the middle. And then you can find us on Facebook, The Organizing Genius. You can find us online at theorganizinggenius.com. I have YouTube, but I don't I don't really post on it. I have a what's the new one that everybody on TikTok?
Uh-huh.
I don't post nothing on there.
Yeah.
But I think I'm gonna start using it a little bit more. But it's
Yes.
just for me, I wear many hats in my business and I enjoy creating content. So I shoot the content, I edit it,
It's amazing.
and I create all the videos that you see. No one manages the social media page for me, so I manage everything myself. I respond to all the DMs and the comments when I can. So that's where you can find us.
Yes. Thank y'all so much for just listening in and watching us here with the wonderful organizing genius. And many of you guys know I decided to do Dare to Excel as a place to be able to give you guys some inspiration, some information, some motivation and resources. And if you are looking to start your own business, even if you just have an idea, or if you are looking to just go from solo to an actual thriving business with a team, y'all know where y'all can find me. I am at excelofficial.com, and that's with 2 L's. Y'all see it? EXCELL official.com. We have our wonderful Start, Launch, Grow program, which gives you A to Z on what you need to do to be able to turn your idea into a profitable and scalable business. We offer services, templates, and our wonderful signature program. And until the next time, I need you guys to have faith and dare to excel. Thank you. Let's take a picture.